Oh, hi. Welcome to Codes of Harmony. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for all that you are. Okay, so this is a little interlude, not an interruption. This is a reprieve from the series that I'm doing about mediumship, about ghosts, about spirits. And yeah, I just felt very drawn to do a tarot reading this morning. Please only take what resonates. The messages will not be for everyone. They are not for everyone. And some messages are for you, surely, and some are not. All right? So please use your discernment, darlings, especially at this stage in the collective ascension journey. Wow, there's so much energy today. It's so activated. I also find it interesting that wanting me to work with this tarot deck that I really like, literally. I don't know if I've ever used it on this channel, maybe once or twice. I don't even use it for personal readings, so I think that's interesting. And I think the reason they want me to do that is because of the artwork that's on it, okay? So if you do have the ability to see the screen throughout this reading, I will be holding up the cards after I mention them. Yeah, this very much feels like a sweetheart reading, you know, a reading that's just filled with like sweetness and yesterday I started hearing, can you feel the love tonight? So that may mean something for some of you, the Lion King, right? Okay. Is there anything else I meant to say before I start the reading? Maybe I feel like because there's not as much structure, like maybe it's like an internal concern of mine that because there's not as much structure to this reading that there might be something wrong. But like that is part of the old world thinking. This is a sweetheart reading. And the message that's coming through today is love is your shield. Okay? And I have been seeing and experiencing lots of channeling or having visions connected to armor. So like very much like that classic knight in shining armor type thing. Which me personally, I feel like I'm doing a lot of, straight out, Three of Cups. Three of Cups. 3 is a very good number. I just got to point that out. 3 is probably one of the most spiritually significant numbers. You know, you think about the Holy Trinity, you think about past, present, future, mind, body, soul. And I also think about 3 in terms of heaven, the earthly realm, and the underworld. Yeah, and 3 traditionally in the tarot definitely is about celebration. It's about coming together. I channeled yesterday about the family coming back together. That may mean something different for all of you. Please give me clear and divine guidance that'll be most beneficial for everyone involved. Yeah, love is your shield. Love is your shield. And the world is, you know, there's this illusion going on at the moment about certain greedy, money-making entities, energies, groups, organizations trying to paint a picture that the world is a very dark place and that we are low in opportunities and that things are doomed and we just have to kind of submit. Which is something I don't readily do, right? I don't submit, but sometimes I do surrender. That may be a that may be a message for you. My words seem a bit jumbled today. There's just so much like magic in the air. And look at that. The sun card comes out. Illumination. And if you have the ability to see the screen, I'm holding it up right now. Through this magic portal of YouTube, of the interweb. Yeah, the sun. And this is such a cute sun card because it's like two different people. And that is so interesting. I've never seen that. Like I said, I'm very unfamiliar with these cards. So one person is holding a hourglass in one hand, and the other person is holding an hourglass in the other hand, and then together they're holding an hourglass in the other hand together. That's really beautiful. And it seems to be over the sun. The sun represents happiness. The sun represents illumination. So you're about to, or you are experiencing a very abundant, happy time in your life. And it has something to do with the Three of Cups, has something to do with time itself, the hourglass, right? You may also have or be connected to somebody that has a hourglass figure, as they call it. Shout outs to all the curvy babes out there. So much, you know, we come in like all different shapes, we come in all different sizes, we come in all variants, and that's what makes us all unique. And there's something about the love that you hold, the love that you share, the capacity of love that you have, that is a shield against darkness, that is a shield against horror, that is a shield against pain, that is a shield against the mighty, huge, like, efforts that are being made right now to make it seem like the world is a dark place. And it is not a dark place. In fact, there is more opportunity for change, for healing, for correcting the course than there has ever been, is what I'm hearing. That's a big message. Oh, please give me clear and divine guidance. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands and the Three of Wands. The Ace of Wands, and in this there's a flower garland. A flower garland might mean something to you. So when you take a thread and you string it through the center of a whole bunch of flowers, and it creates like a garland of flowers. You can also do that with paper. I just saw paper flowers in my mind's eye. And there's something very important and significant about expression, creative expression, because that's part of the way that we express love, that's part of the way we receive love, is by creating unique, special ways to show those you love and care about how much they mean to you. Then we have the Three of Wands. And there's very much like a fairy element here. There's like a fae energy going on, some kind of like magical fairy element. And fairies are like, fairies have been recorded and spoken about and witnessed like for as long as human memory can remember. So fairies or fae are very much connected to Celtic or Celtic, depending on how you want to say it. Bloodline, ancestry, and mythology. There's something about myths at the moment that is connected to this shield of love that you have, because the core of every journey is about finding love for the self. And what is that quote? The greatest thing you will ever learn is to love and be loved in return. I believe that's William Shakespeare. Very interesting. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Three of Wands is stepping out. So you need to, or you are about to step out into your true heart's desires. You are about to step out into really allowing the world to receive all of your love. And whether or not you are in an actual romantic relationship, whether you're in a a sexual relationship, a playful relationship, a platonic relationship, it is actually not about that. It is about the frequency of love that you can express and you can hold and you can potentially share with the right people, right? With the right one or ones. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. So love is your shield, yeah? And it's funny because this mythology, this please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Please give me clear and divine guidance. I'm just going to activate my hands, yeah, because that helps me channel. Some people refer to these also as light codes. So light codes and light language is also as ancient as Atlantis and beyond. Light codes can be expressed vocally. They can also be expressed with the hands. And, you know, if you don't believe or understand light codes, think about it as Reiki. And if you don't believe in Reiki, then I don't know what you're doing here, quite frankly, because Reiki is not only is it connected to some very powerful lineages. Excuse, I'm just waking up. Still waking up. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being sweethearts and understanding that this is a it is a time that many people with gifts like me are under very severe spiritual attack. So this shielding of armor. I saw chainmail. Chainmail might mean something. And when we think about chainmail, so the traditional word chainmail, is that right? Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, there's somebody trying to stop me from talking. Rejecting all projections, yeah? Rejecting all projections, I shall be heard, you shall be heard, we shall be heard, we shall be heard, we shall be seen, and we shall rise up because the family of light, the good is going to win. We are already winning. And in terms of time, not time and space being fluid, being elastic, being flexible, we have already won. So what we're seeing right now is like, I just saw a soccer field, that might mean something, is sore losers. And it's so interesting because soccer is known, like there's this joke about soccer players like pretending they're injured when they're not. That might mean something for some of you. Maybe you're a soccer player, you're connected to soccer. Maybe you have loved soccer in this lifetime or another. I said blues and roots. So something about the foundation, the roots of a tree. Rejecting all projections. Rejecting all projections. Birds flying high. You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's a new life waiting for me. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-da-da, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Very sweet energy going on. Yeah, it is a whole new world. It's a new world. Something happened on the 1111 portal that I cannot describe. There has been some kind of reality dimension shift. Like we have, I feel like, yeah, I'm going to wait to talk about that more. But something has changed and I'm sure you feel it. I feel it. I hope you feel it too. So the 9 of Wands, the 9 of Wands. the Nine of Wands. Your inner child is coming out to play, because children know about love. Children know how to express love. Children naturally, when we're born, we are filled with love. We are made of love. We are love. And that is a core memory that we all have. So no matter how awful a person is, no matter how nasty they are, and this might be happening to you in your life, maybe in your family, maybe in your workplace, maybe in your actual close relationships, remember that person at some stage was a child, at some stage was a baby who naturally gave and received love. And there's been, like, so many forces that have tried to control you and have tried to, it's going to be different for all of you, because this video is for the collective, for many. But there is something about, like, I keep getting this energy of, like, I want to say to the dark forces, is that all you got? Is that where we're at? We're at the stage where, like, y'all can't fight us with hate anymore, because we have broken so many illusions around the power of hate. Yeah. It's much easier to hate somebody than it is to love them. And it's much easier to assume a position of war, a position of anger, a position of mutual hate, than to receive somebody's love and return it. Okay, so there's something about that, and I'm seeing a huge shield now. And you may actually have some kind of Celtic, or European ancestry that is connected to a shield. So there are shield of arms, and shield of arms represent and talk about what bloodline you have, what family you have, and what legacy you have. And then I just saw somebody scraping off, like washing off, a pattern on a very old shield of arms and painting something anew, right? Painting a new shield of arms. That's so funny. When you start saying the word too many times, like, it can change what it means. It can change shape. It can change, I almost said dialect. Okay, so love. Love is a burning thing. Johnny Cash might be important, which is funny because I almost made this video, the third part in the series, talking about mediumship, about working with and seeing, sensing, hearing spirits. And I was almost going to talk about some experiences I've had while listening to the music of Johnny Cash. So music is important at the moment. Just moving this energy, like just clearing the energy. I just heard, if you can't beat them, join them. So you may find that some of your haters are finally realizing that they have nothing on you and that they have no way to get past this shielding of love that you hold. Your love is so powerful. Your love is changing the world. And we all are in this trust fall, this moment of trust fall, going from the 9 of Wands to the 10 of Wands. So much wanting to close out this cycle. This cycle not only of war between friends, between family, between neighbors, between lovers, but war between different countries, different races, different classes. And I have heard it said throughout my whole life that it's not a race war, it's a class war. And that is a mechanism, because why do classes exist? Why are there different classes? The idea of the quote-unquote American dream is that anybody can make it in America. But that's not true. And yes, within your class that you are born into, there's a certain amount of room to move. But traditionally, for hundreds of years, you could only move so far without making a deal with the devil. That's a metaphor, right? It is and it isn't, right? um, somebody who watches my videos has a tattoo of a devil and a tattoo of an angel, like a literal tattoo on their shoulders. I don't know if that's you. I don't know if you're watching this now or in the future now, but somebody in my collective, somebody who watches my videos, whether you're a subscriber or not, because we know there's a lot of people watching who ain't subscribed, has a literal tattoo of a devil and an angel on their shoulder. And whoever you are, I just want to remind you that the left side is the feminine and the right side is the masculine. So whether you consciously knew that when you got that tattoo done, or you allowed and entrusted the tattoo artist to make that decision for you, you might want to look at that and look at your association connection to feminine energy and masculine energy. Let's cozy up a little bit, hey? Sweethearts. There's this sweetheart energy going on. Like, sweethearts will rule the world because love is more powerful than hate. You may be experiencing lots of psychic attacks at the moment. You may be experiencing lots of people trying to interfere, I just heard electronically, interfere with you. You may be having people trying to block your communication with people. You may be having people hacking your emails, hacking your phone, right? Which reminds me, I need to get a new phone. This one's been glitching out, but I can't afford to do that at the moment. Hopefully I can afford to do that soon. And just a little side note, I was going to do an update about this, but I'm in Australia and we don't have access to all the same like cash apps that people do in other places like America. Even that's a control mechanism. And I've always been quite fascinated and kind of horrified. I remember the first time that I went overseas was actually to America, but I was quite young. Is that right? Yeah. How old was I? Maybe 12? Maybe a bit younger. It's hard to work out because I really was like, I really grew up real fast. And I was very like womanly as a young girl, like as a teenager, I should say. And I remember when we got there and we got out at the airport, my mum took me and my brother, and the only way we were there is because she was going to a conference. She was, so, like back then we absolutely could not have afforded to get there ourselves without this thing called the International Indigenous Peoples Conference, which was happening in Albuquerque. Okay, Albuquerque. Confirmation on that. You might be from Albuquerque. Maybe you're in Albuquerque now. Maybe you were at the Indigenous Peoples Conference, maybe. Um, and I remember my mum taking us to like exchange money at the airport, and I was like, why are you doing that? Kind of like, I didn't understand why. And she explained to me that they had to change the money around, like that she was like, oh, we have to get American money because we can't spend Australian money here. This may be symbolic for you. This is kind of random considering this is somehow connected to love. So maybe that brings in like the idea of currency, the idea of worth, yeah? Because when you take your love somewhere else, there's something about the value of your love that comes in. I keep seeing this knight. I keep seeing this like knight in like big shiny armor. Which is funny because yesterday I actually started to watch Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, which of course is an adaptation of William Shakespeare, of one of William Shakespeare's plays, which I don't believe he wrote alone, if you know what I'm saying. And there's of course the famous scene where Romeo and Juliet meet at a party and Romeo is dressed as a knight. And I love that movie. And I love that play. But yesterday I decided to switch it off. After they got married and after... Oh, I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it or you don't know the plays of William Shakespeare. But yeah, I switched it off because I just decided, like, I just didn't want to watch that ending yesterday. And the messages around that are like the reason that is a play that rings true till this day is because the love of Romeo and Juliet was seen as an insult and a threat and a danger between these two houses, these two families that were warring with each other. And that's so sad. Like, we can't allow that to happen anymore collectively because it opens up the door for the enemy to come in, you know? And it leaves a space, it leaves a vortex for love to be manipulated, love to be interfered with, love to be tainted. You may have experienced a lot of, you know, bad relationships in your life. And please remember to, you know, to only take what resonates. Please do not leave anything else. Sorry, please do not take anything else. Or maybe I said it like that because it's like you're doing some soul retrieval. Yeah, it feels like there's soul retrieval energy going on in the collective. Tell us about this soul retrieval connected to love as a shield. Love against evil, love as a shield against those who want to harm you and or your counterparts. The best songs that have ever been written are about love. The best plays that have ever been written have love at their core. And the best defense, the best armor, the best shielding against evil is love. So no matter how like weaponized you are, no matter how skilled you are, no matter who or what you are fighting in your life, remember to keep your heart open. Safe boundaries, boundary bubbles, but open to love, because that is actually your ultimate protection, the ultimate shield, the ultimate guarding against evil energies that want to enter into your life at this time. The Six of Pentacles. Please give me clear and divine guidance. So right now, okay, let me just take this as an example. So right now, I am extremely telepathic. Like extremely telepathic. Like scary kind of telepathic. Like, and I'm also using a device that is a portal that connects me to you, but it also opens up a channel to many things, because technology has changed so much, and the people that are making decisions and designing phones, some of them are possessed, some of them are working with dark forces. Some of them, like so many of them, are competing with each other in a way that is making phones unsafe. Okay, so right now I'm doing this reading, and about the fourth or fifth card in, there's very clearly an energetic interruption that is trying to interfere with me talking to you about love. So we're just clearing those. We just constantly have to take the time, take the energy to push away all projections and to demand that tech companies stop it. Like demand. And I cast protection all around you. I cast protection all around this space, all around this table, all around my cards, all around my heart. So don't you dare try and stop me getting these sweetheart messages out. Whoever you are, whatever you are. Now, in the Six of Pentacles, there is a woman in a gorgeous dress with beautiful flowery patterns all over it. And part of what I do like about these cards, it's like they're not fairies with wings, but they are nature fairies. They are connected to the flowers that they hold, and they are almost part of them. They're almost a flower themselves. Excuse my wild woman nails. I can't wait till I can afford to like get my nails done pretty. That's going to be exciting for me. You may find that some people are offended by your beauty or your handsomeness. You may find that the happier you are, the more in alignment, the more in tune, the more balanced, the more you radiate love, that it is going to be clearing the deck of those who are not safe in your life, because they are angered by your love. They are angered by you expressing love, expressing kindness, receiving love, being in love. Because at the core of us, we all know the power of love. There have been entire wars fought over the hand of a woman or a man or another. There have been entire cities, entire castles that have burnt because of the rage of a scorned lover. So these invasions of privacy that are happening on telephones, these violations of privacy, these dehumanizing, robotic, creepy, fake-ass AI programming that is built into telephones, if it doesn't stop now, we're going to get to a stage where we can't do this anymore. When no one's going to want to use phones. No one's going to feel safe to use telephones. And we're going to go back to having landlines. You hear, you heard. We're going to go back to writing letters. We're going to go back to meeting up and actually communicating and talking in person. We are going to go back to I'm seeing like millions of people in my mind's eye breaking their smartphones, smashing them with hammers, throwing them in water, breaking them in half, pulling them apart. I just saw somebody pulling apart a phone and spitting inside it. That might be a metaphor for some of you. Maybe you have Jewish heritage, as I believe that is one of the practices, like a magic protective practice of Jewish people, is spitting, as well as Italian, I think. So why is this coming through, Spirit, on this sweetheart message? Oh, because somebody's tried to interrupt this message. So I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say it like it is, because I'm clearly not here for the coins, right? Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying before about America. Sorry, my first time overseas, is that I was shocked. So, no, I understood when Mum said that clearing the throat chakra, rejecting all projections. Yeah. When Mum said we had to change the money, I understood that. But then I was listening, because I was a very observant child. I was listening, and teenager and adult. And I remember noticing Mum being like a little bit concerned at the amount of money that we got back, and I didn't fully understand it. And I could see there was like this electronic board that had all these different numbers on it and different countries listed on it, and I recognized Australia, and it had certain numbers. And I did notice, not that math is my stronghold, let me tell you. Also, dyslexic queen right up here. But I remember noticing that the numbers that were listed next to Australia was so much lower than some of the other countries. And then I noticed that other countries were even lower than Australia. And then my mum like reiterated and had this conversation with the teller, with the person exchanging the money, and clarified like about the amount of money we've been given back. And then I understood that the money we had didn't have the same value in another country. And I was like, what? I was like, how the fuck does that make sense? And I was like, and then I remember Mum, like we had to budget and all sorts of things. And like I said, it was a work trip. So luckily we had our accommodation sorted and stuff like that. But yeah, to me, that's just so wrong. Like, sorry, maybe we're going into philosophy course right now, but I just thought it was so wrong, and like kind of just like it didn't make any sense that money would suddenly drop in value because you go to another country. And I think there's something really wrong with that. And I think that's actually the way that a lot of criminal activities happen. between countries. And, you hear these horror stories about traveling. If you go to this country, usually a country that is predominantly brown people, let's be honest, you go to this country or Asian people or that country, this is going to happen to you. You're going to have your wallet stolen. You're going to be kidnapped. You're going to be ransomed. You're going to be like all these horrible things. And I feel like that is, so that might mean something different for some of you. I feel like that wouldn't happen nearly as much if, and like we need an even fair playing field, right? It's like if somebody in one country has money that they go to another country and that money is worth so much more, then of course the people in that country are going to feel some type of way about it. Of course they're going to view those people in a different way. Of course they're going to feel slighted that, for example, a really good example is Thailand, which I've also been to. I love Thailand. Like, I love Thailand. It's a very sacred, very holy place. But I also know the second time I went to Thailand, I was backpacking with my brother and his boyfriend at the time. Even though it was this other funny situation where, like, when we shared a room with other backpackers, my brother and his boyfriend would pretend just to be friends as well because, homophobia and stuff. But I remember being grossed out by the behavior of a lot of the other Westerners. So a lot of the other people from Australia, from America, from countries, Western countries. And I remember lots of them saying, oh, we can live like kings. We can live like kings in Thailand. And I remember just being like, I have this feeling of wanting to detach myself from this obnoxious, disrespectful Australian backpacker image that was like running rampant over there. And so, like, someone in Australia who, for example, doesn't have much money, or like they're middle class or whatever, might have, here it costs them, I don't know. So you go to some bars now and it literally costs like $15 for a drink. Crazy, wild. And then in Thailand it'll be like 50 cents, $2 for the same drink, right? So I saw a lot of Australian people just being very obnoxious and disgusting with that. And then it creates this weird relationship with tourism. This is so fascinating. This is all coming through. Oh, we got the marriage card. Look at that. Maybe some of you are going to have a destination wedding. So maybe you're going to go somewhere beautiful, somewhere sacred and important to you, and have some kind of ceremony, some kind of wedding, some kind of gathering. Because as the message came through, love is your shield. Love is your shield. I guess there's also the flip side of like somebody who doesn't have much opportunity here can have more opportunity in another country or another place where their money is worth more. But it's about the ethics of how you do that. It's about how much love and compassion and respect, because you cannot have love without respect, and to a certain degree you can't respect somebody without having some kind of love for them, regardless of who they are or what they do or what they have done. So that might mean something for you. Yes, sweetheart, respect the sweetheart, which is what I just heard. That's adorable. Oh wow, that's a really loud noise. What is that? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it Superman? Oh, oh. You're someone's hero. I feel like you need to hear that right now. You know, you are someone's hero because of the love that you have held. I'm seeing the hermit now holding a light in the middle of darkness, but it's kind of like beyond the reach of that lamp, that light that you hold, there are demonic forces, like twisting, maggoty, like rotting, half dead people. Wow, that's a lot of dark imagery suddenly coming in. Oh, that's really loud noise, isn't it? I'll just focus on the sound of the birds. Um, please give me clear and divine guidance. That'll be most beneficial for everyone involved. I just heard love for the fellow man. I feel like that's a Bible thing. Also, stop arguing with each other about words for God, please. Like, please. That's not loving. That's not true to the word of Jesus from what I understand and what I remember. Oh, I just got a ringing in my ear so bad. Eek. Oh, eek. You know, some ringing in the ear is good because it's like spirit ancestors or your spirit guides talking to you, and then other times it feels artificial. Learn what feels artificial and what does not. Love, does that feel artificial or real? The senses, the gifts that you have, you know, there is a attack on gifted people that is happening right now. That is taking the mirror image of love, the artificial illusion of love. I just saw the big Hollywood sign. Oh, that reminds me, I have this other series that started about the Lost Boys of LA. That was some channeling connected to Peter Pan and Neverland. You know how like they call it La La Land? Is that what they call it? La La Land? Love is a burning flame. When hearts like ours meet. Something about that. When hearts like ours meet. The subconscious mind chooses throughout life, ever since you were a baby, like I said at the beginning of the reading. Babies naturally love. Babies naturally have the frequency of love. Children naturally have the frequency of love. And then from the time you're born and you grow consciousness, you start understanding what it is to lie, you start understanding what it is to manipulate, you start understanding the way to get things. You start understanding what it means to care about someone. You start understanding what it means to sacrifice things for the well-being, safety, and love of someone else, right? For someone else. Some of you may have had very rough childhoods. Some of you may have had very complex situations that you came from, or maybe you're in those situations now. Please only take what resonates. Remember, these messages are for many, for the collective. Okay. Let's just anchor this in. Yeah. got this blushing energy, like blush. um Somebody has a lot of love for you. Okay, there's a lot of love in this energy. There's a lot of love. Please send me clear and divine guidance be most beneficial to everyone involved. Channeling is such a trip. Like, it's such a incredible thing, because you really have to free fall. Like, you really have to give into it, or else it doesn't or else you really do not get all of the information coming through. So it must be, sometimes I think it must be funny for people on YouTube who just stumble on a channel, like someone channeling, and they'll be like, where's the structure? Where's the scripting? Also, a few notes. A notebook or two is also very beneficial. Let's not forget that. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Ooh, the Eight of Wands. The fastest moving card. Oh, except for maybe the Chariot, depending on like where the Chariot's at, where it takes off from. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Something about the solar flares that are happening at the moment, and the Schumann resonance. I keep channeling about the tectonic plates of Earth, of Mother Gaia. And we have officially, thank you, Spirit, we have officially, it's so funny to use the word official in this sense, but we are in the arms of Mother Gaia. So everything that makes it seem like the patriarchy is still in control, that is just an illusion, a very real world illusion that unfortunately is still echoing out in very physical, real results of the patriarchy, of toxic masculine energy. I'm not going to talk about any political leaders. And also, you all do realize that politicians aren't running the world, right? Do we understand that? Do we? So politicians are that artificial thing, right? Artificial leaders. And they are actually just punching bags for people to throw darts at, right? To focus their energy on and not see or understand who's actually running the show behind the politicians, right? Who are the actual puppeteers. Puppets might be important at this time. So Eight of Wands. Okay. Oh, and then we have the Chariot. The Chariot, Cancer sign energy. You may be a Cancer, you may be connected to a Cancer. I just heard a divine Cancer sign, which is very nurturing, right? Like a Cancer sign in high vibration is a very nurturing, very kind, very loving frequency, but it can also very much connected to shadow work, connected to mother wounding. And that's also not just about your blood mother or mother figures in your life. It is also about the way you mother yourself, the love you give to yourself, the nurturing you give to yourself. And then the better you get at that, the more you can share that with others. And the more that you can express that and show that to the whole world. What time? Ooh, 54:35. 54:35 on the tick over clock. We're almost at an hour. That's so... Is that a helicopter? Like, what's a helicopter doing here? Honestly, I live in, like, the jungle, right? And it's so funny, when I moved here, which was a bit less than 2 years ago, I think, was it? Time's so funny. It just seemed like there were like hardly any airplanes. Maybe there's an army base nearby I don't know about. Something about circling. You may feel like sharks are circling you. And just remember that your love is the shielding. Your love is such a powerful force. I just heard invisible force. It's easy to notice someone yelling at you. Sometimes it's harder to notice somebody just gently loving you. Just gently, patiently loving you. This Chariot card actually has what looks to me like a couple inside of it. It almost looks like, so if we look at the the Four of Wands, which is also referred to as the 1111, which is powerful considering we've had the 1111 shift, time shift. Oh gosh. That is often referred to as the marriage card because it's about a celebration. So it's not always a marriage. It might be like the healing between, I just heard the different houses. And now I'm hearing a plague on both your houses. One of the most famous lines from Romeo and Juliet. And like, maybe we can rewrite a different timeline ending for Romeo and Juliet, where they don't need to sacrifice themselves in order to love and be loved by each other. I hardly ever switch off movies as well. So for me to switch off Romeo and Juliet yesterday really seems significant. Because as powerful and important as that story is, I would love to see a different ending. The Capulets and the Montagues coming together in celebration. And what could draw that? But love. Like this happy couple riding off together on this chariot towards the castle, whatever the castle represents for you. Okay. Okay, let's just ask. I'm feeling some of you want some clearer answers. Someone might be trying to attack your throat chakra as well. Is interesting because we use our throat chakra to say sweet things to our sweethearts. You may also have a very beautiful voice. You may have one of the sweetest, most enchanting voices that anyone did ever hear, is what I just heard. Johnny Cash. I feel like Johnny Cash is like so present right now. Johnny Cash and June Carter, is it? June Cash. We're very, very in love with each other. You might even say a love that saved him. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so let's ask. Oh, we just had the Chariot come out again. And the Eight of Wands again. So very fast. Something's about to happen very quickly. So this shielding is going to take you through something. Is going to take you through, for some of you, it's the dark night of the soul. For some of you, it is a battle zone. Some of you, I just saw a university, something connected to a university, something about study, something about evolution of the masses. I just heard. Okay. All right, world leader. Johnny Cash also did some incredible, groundbreaking, like world-changing, brave acts, particularly talking about his sobriety, particularly talking about the battles he'd had with addiction. And the thing about addiction, the thing about, toxic, abusive use of substances, which includes alcohol, yeah, and cigarettes, even yandi, which is the Aboriginal word for marijuana. It's about the way that you use substances. And I have someone who's like essentially a modern day shaman, my relationship with substances is a little bit different, but I have known a lot of people and loved a lot of people whose entire lives were changed and dominated by substances. And this is another way that they keep the masses down. This is another way that they oppressed people, suppress people. I'm having to strain my voice a little bit over that noise, but it's funny. That man must barely have any lawn to mow anymore. Every single time I come out here, like every single time, it's like, all right, get a hobby. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Okay, what does the collective need to understand or know about a chink in the armor is what I'm hearing. A chink in the armor. So from what I understand of that expression, again, they're talking about chainmail. That might mean something for some of you. Chainmail is like the mesh that they wear or used to wear underneath armor, right? Like a knight would wear, or a soldier or whatever would wear underneath their shield of armor. And so I believe, and what I've always understood it as, is that the chink in the armor is actually a break in the chainmail. So if you, like, chainmail is essentially lots of tiny, tiny little rings of metal, or like chains, right? All interwoven, like woven together, almost like a basket. Some of you might be weavers, some of you might love weaving, some of you might have it in your bloodline, right? Different sorts of weaving belong to different parts of the world and different cultures, different heritage. So it's like these chains are woven together to create this movable, flexible, but protective cloak over your skin, over your body. And then over the major organs, they would have armor. That's another. Is that another one? How many is that? Gosh, you leave the city to get away from the noise. Oh, it's just the same helicopter. It's so strange. Let's send a little prayer up to whoever's writing that. All right, whoever's up there. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a turkey. um, yeah, prayers out. Sending prayers out. Round and round we go. Where we're going. Nobody knows. Is that from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Yeah, so a chink in the armor is a break in the chain, right? And so if you imagine the chains are all interwoven like this, if there's one little bit missing, one little tiny bit, and somebody goes to, uses their sword or their lance, and then eventually it was bullets, and that got past the armor, first of all, got past the shield, which is love, and then happened to get through or past the armor, then the last line of defense was the chainmail. And so you didn't want to have a hole in your chainmail, because if it happened to hit there or near there, it could tear open and actually get to you, right? So there's something significant about that. Chainmails are also kind of like emails, I guess, which is funny because a message came through about emails. Maybe you need to check your emails. Maybe you need to send an email, respond to an email. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you are. I just heard you have taught me so much. Ooh. So on the second round, because the first round we got the Three of Cups, now we have the Three of Pentacles. 3 really is a good number. So 3 of Pentacles. And in this particular one, there is someone laying on the grass scribing, like writing something down. And then there's an artist painting. So whoever you're connected to, or you're going to be connected to, whatever love is coming into your life, it is some way connected to writing, to telling your story, to scribing. You may be a record keeper throughout time. Through the Akashics, you may be connected, or you may be somebody who can read the Akashics. Or you might be in love with somebody who can read the Akashics and knows the Akashics back to front, I just heard. And yeah, so, and art, something about expressing art, and art comes in all different forms. It almost looks like the artist is channeling and talking, and the scribe is scribing it. So there's also this sense of like the next stage of collective consciousness requires collaboration. It requires for us to step out of this toxic, masculine, patriarchal tech world and actually collaborate. Please give me clear and divine guidance. Okay. So that's what we're moving through. Use creation. And even if you don't feel like you're good at drawing, if you don't feel like you're good at writing, if you don't feel, everybody's voice is unique and important. Everyone's story matters, and it all comes together to create this chainmail. Ooh, 70 minutes. Yeah. I'm seeing like somebody behind a screen crying right now. The men need to cry to allow the river of love to flow, and for us all to pick up our paintbrushes, our pencils, our instruments, our angelic horns, our angelic guitars, our angelic harps, angelic piano playing. You may be good at piano. You may have beautiful piano hands. Please give me clear and divine guidance. That'll be most beneficial for everyone involved. Ooh. 3 of Pentacles. So these are the things that are going to help you guide your flock, I just heard. Okay, some of you are actually going to be world leaders in some way. Then we have the 9 of Wands coming through again. We got to close out this cycle, honeys. We got to bring it to the close so that the gods can bestow their ever-loving love and gifts upon us. We have torn down so much of the old structures. Now it is time to build anew. But the battle is not over, as we know, right? And then I'm seeing someone trying to hide a wand, trying to bury a wand so that we can't close out the cycle with that last wand to get to the 10 of Wands so that we can start all over again with a beautiful new clean slate. Please give me clear and divine guidance that'll be most beneficial for everyone involved. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I said, yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, so the world can heal. So the world can be saved. So that we can love Mother Gaia as she loves us. So we can respect Mother Gaia as she does us. Clearing the throat chakra, rejecting all projections, rejecting all projections, rejecting all projections. And we've got to get all these creeps off the throne. We've got to get all these creeps out of power. And the matriarchy will heal you. The matriarchy will love you. The matriarchy will polish, shine, and renew and repaint your shield of arms. If you would only let her. Because boys, you already done fucked up good enough, yeah? You can be as smart as a whip. You can be as quick and smart and intelligent. You can know everything in a book. You can know how to hack the most sophisticated cyber systems. You can know how to script and write a comedy set that can make people's emotions jump and jigger, I just heard. But if you do not have love, then you are not shielded from the devil. You're not shielded from the devil on your shoulder or anybody else's. And you are not shielded from the dark, demonic, patriarchal, toxic forces, regardless of gender, because women can be patriarchs. Trust me, I've seen it. Darling. And I pray that everybody you care about is protected, because you are a generational curse breaker. You are a world healer. Oh, darling. Yeah, Four of Pentacles, giving and receiving. And what is wealth? What's the point in having the money if you don't got the honey? The Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the World card. Such a beautiful World card. Cloud 9 I just heard. Because we just want to be in a world that it's safe to be loving, and it's safe to be sweet, and it's safe to express your emotions. I want to see all the men drop their ego, all the toxic women drop their ego, and let love abound. I just heard decolonize your mind, decolonize your phone, decolonize your home. And when we build anew, when we rebuild the structure of the tower that has fallen or been burnt to the ground or been torn down by righteous, poor people and protesters, oppressed people and slaves, when we tear it down, we get to build anew. But there are things we can choose to bring with us. And there is something about, I remember so many past lives, and there is something about remembering past lives that has made me realize the ways that I feel about things that used to mean so much to people, to everyone, which was loyalty, kindness, trust, charity, love and respect for others, empathy, compassion. Like, who made empathy not cool? Like, what? Like, de-memify your brains and your hearts, please, because being that sarcastic, being that like teasing and mocking kindness, love and empathy, that is just like, that's like taking away all of your armor. That's like taking away the chainmail, taking away the armor, and having a shield made of nothing but hate and air. Okay, one more card. Okay, one more card for the collective. Oh, so nice. Just the sound of the birds and the river. Late at night, an angel wants to carry me home. And then we finish it off with the Ten of Pentacles. Everything that you could want before you leave this incarnation. A foundation, a home, a business, a community, a friend group that all supports your love, that all honors your shield of arms, that all respects your big, booming, beautiful heart. Whoever you are also very wise. Like there has been layers and layers of wisdom that just keeps getting revealed the more and more cards I pull, the more and more time I sit here with you. Okay, last sip of coffee. That's such a cute way to end the reading because um, like that's what's on the other side of the battle is the ten of Pentacles. And there's something about being at one with nature. We are being held by Mother Gaia. We have collectively worked together to reinstate, reinstall, and remember the divine nurturing love of Mother Gaia, as well as the mother within, the divine feminine within. A lot of you have been really let down by a lot of people in your life. And you can choose war, you can choose hate, you can choose revenge, or you can do the opposite and you can quote unquote kill them with kindness. I like to say heal them with kindness instead. Okay, let me just get one clarification on this. 10 of Pentacles. Oof. The Judgment card. The angels want you to have this love. Okay, all right. Angels want me to pull another card or two. Angels, give us a closing message. The Three of Wands, again, that is stepping out, trustful, express your love, even if you're scared of what's going to happen next. Because there's nothing like regret on a cold, lonely night. Some of you are going to have to let go of relationships. Some of you are going to have to let go of what you expected, the illusion. I once wrote a song and the chorus was, you were building your castle on hollow ground. There's nothing below your masquerade. That was a song I wrote about somebody who really broke my heart and let me down when I really needed them. When the rare form of ovarian cancer that I had took over and I was experiencing so much racist abuse and all sorts of abuse in a hospital. And the chemotherapy, and that person really let me down, even though I love them terribly, love them so much. I'm being guided not to take that one. And then a final clarification, please, angels, come on now. Gotta let these people get back to journaling. Journaling's important at the moment. Very talented and very clever person reminded me of how much I love journaling. I used to journal all the time, but not like the normal sort of journaling. Like I hate the idea of like, dear diary, today I did ... I used to have an art journal that I always had and I carried with me everywhere. And then someone threw them out. And I think that really like harmed my connection to journaling. Oh yeah, and like so many people in the city I used to live in just copied me. Like copied my artwork, copied my ideas, copied my words, and almost all of them bullied me or tried to bully me, right? and wouldn't give me my flowers, wouldn't acknowledge me, wouldn't credit me, wouldn't collaborate with me or show up to my art exhibitions or the galleries that I ran, but would literally steal my work. And you know how that happened? You know how that happened? Because of freaking social media. And I guess sometimes when people saw me perform on stage. Or do public speaking. Okay. Wow. Let's focus it in. I just want to give you a hug. Like, I just have this overwhelming feeling. And then we got the 1111. Okay. Some of you are like so close to such a divine union. A love that will change the world and already is. Whew. Ay, ay, ay. And then underneath we have the 8 of Cups. This love is coming to you because you deserve it. You could have chosen to paint your armor in blood and hate and revenge, and maybe even for a little while you did. Now you have seen the light, you have seen the way, and that light is a pink and green heart chakra that is as wide as the Mississippi River, is what I just heard. What was that? I was trying to say free the lost souls. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for all that you are. This has been a big reading. Oh, 87 minutes. How good things take time, right? I just feel like I also want to say to you, whoever you are, and again, this is for many, but when it's for many, it's also for one, because it's like I'm talking to the individual and the collective, as well as the, you know, the thing in me that is connected and the same as you. Because we all have the ability to love. But I do want to say that I'm sorry for the ways that people, places, things with ill intentions and selfish motivations have tried to manipulate your love. That's so evil. That's so like pathetic and low. And the more that people, places, or things do that to you or anyone you love and care about, the less love they're going to have in their life. Because Bayami and Mother Earth know that they no longer have access to you. They have no longer have access or any power over you. Lessons learned, souls saved. Some of them you even helped heal and bring to the light, bring to the side of good. But if no one said it to you, I'm sorry that's happened to you and your loved ones. And I cast protection all around you and all around your loved ones. Okay. So much love from Codes of Harmony. Remember,